What's up, gang? Actually, no. English is hard. Today's gonna be a good show, right? We're gonna talk about my trip to Miami. Yes. So, without further ado, I'm your host, Micah Gregory, and this is the Micah Show. So this past weekend and the weekend before, I went to Miami recreationally for the first time. Like, I've been to Miami before when I was younger, but it was always for like to go see family, or there was just some event that just wasn't me taking a trip. So I went. I went. 2 weekends ago, I took a trip with Liana, and we went down to Miami because she had some friends from Texas coming in, and she wanted to visit them while they were here. And I will say that trip was actually, we took a day trip because I couldn't get that weekend off. The original plan, pause. Tell me how months ago, right? Months ago. Like June, yeah. The trip happened earlier this month, July, and in June, it was funny because I found out that my uncle brought his baby over to my grandmother and my mother, to watch, so they can watch her while they were in Miami. And I was like, oh, they're going to Miami? That's so cool. I want to go to Miami. Tell me how the next day, my friend Jamie texted me and was like, Michael, let's go to Miami. I was like, what? I was like, okay, that's fine. And later that day, I was still working at the smoke shop. I was still working at the smoke shop. And Liana came in later that day and was like, Micah, let's go to Miami. And I was like, okay, stop. There's too much happening right now. Too much happening. And so I told her, I was like, my uncle just went to Miami. I said I wanted to go to Miami. Jamie was like, let's go to Miami. And now you're here like, let's go to Miami. And I was like, cool, F it, we going to Miami, dog. Like, what? And I just found, and then literally the next day, I found out one of my other friends who I haven't seen in like months came in and was like, yeah, we're going to Miami. And I was like, okay, all right, this is too crazy. This is too crazy. I can't take this right now. But anyway, so I told you, because Jamie asked me first, and I was like, yeah, all right, that's cool, let's go. We could go, like, or I was just like, yeah, we can go. And then when Liana came in and asked me, let's go to Miami, I was like, okay, let's go. And Liana already had dates. Liana was like, we could go the weekend of the 8th, July 8th, that weekend, because that's when her friends were coming. And sorry. And I was like, okay, that's cool, we can go. I just have to make sure that I don't have work, because the smoke shop is fine. I don't work weekends at the smoke shop anyway, but I work weekends at mini golf. So I had to make sure that schedule was good. I went into work, and so I had to make sure that schedule was good. And I told Jamie, I was like, hey Jamie, Liana said she wants to go to Miami. Do you want to come with us, or vice versa? Can she come with us? She has friends that she wants to go down there and see A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Jamie was like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, okay, cool. Miami trip planned. But I had to make sure that I didn't work. So when I went in that work sometime after the whole conversation, I checked the request off binder, and it just so happened that my manager and her daughter requested off. Like, the store manager and her daughter requested off. And I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna get those days off because they requested off. So I put my name down anyway, just in case, to see if something can happen. And my store manager likes to publish the schedule a week before, which, like, it's like most jobs anyway. So she she published the schedule, and it just so happened that Friday I had to work, Sunday I had to work, but Saturday I didn't. But would you fucking look at that? So I told Jamie, I was like, hey, there's no weekend in Miami because before she posted the schedule, before she posted the schedule, I went and I seen that they requested off. So I told Liana and Jamie, I was like, hey, they were requested off, so there's a good chance that I'm not gonna be able to get it, so we might have to cancel plans. Then when she posted the schedule, I was like, okay, well, Liana, I got the 8th off, so we can still go for like a day or something. We could still go for like a day or something. I just have to be back by like 3:00 to go to work on Sunday. Liana was like, all right, cool. And then I told Jamie, same thing I told Liana, which was that because I have work, we might not be able to go. But Jamie and I already rescheduled it to move it to like the week of the 16th. So I was like, okay, cool. So me and Jamie are going to go to Miami the week of the 16th. And then me and Liana are going to go to Miami the weekend before. And the reason why I didn't say, hey, we're going this or we're doing this time is because Liana, like I said, Liana wanted to go to see her friends who were in Miami for that weekend. And then Jamie just wanted to go for the weekend. And I'm pretty sure that neither of them would really, had a problem with it. But I was like, it was Jamie's first time in Miami, and she wanted the whole weekend. So I was like, all right, so we could just go to Miami for the weekend. And then I go to Miami with Liana the weekend before, and so that way she could, we could just be with her friends. Anyway, so the 8th comes, and I had to rent a car, and I go to Budget, and they let me rent the car, but because I'm under 25, it would have been cheaper and more expensive. So I had to call my mom because I got there and I forgot my wallet at home. So she had to pick up my wallet and then come bring the wallet to me. And when we got there, she ended up renting out the car under her name because it's cheaper that way for a day. And it put me as a driver, which made it even cheaper, which was like $124 just for one day. Cool. Picked up the car, went home, packed my bags, picked up Liana. We didn't leave till later that day. Oh, child. I got the car, and I thought we were going to leave early, but we didn't leave till like 4. So I got the car, and when I went to go get Liana, we went to the mall. And we was at the mall for a little bit. And we went back, then we went to her house. She finished, actually getting ready, and then we hopped in the car, got food, and then we got on the road. That drive, it was a long drive. It was fine. Like, I was fine with it. It was just, I'm so sorry, I'm shaking the camera. I was fine with the drive. Like, it was just like a 3-hour some change drive. But we were getting there, we were getting close to Miami, and it started pouring. It started pouring down, raining. Like, it was crazy. It was like that, if I'm not mistaken, it was like that on the way to and the way from Miami. No, I think it was like that on the way from Miami. But on the way to Miami, it was pouring. But we got there, and it was Miami. Miami was the city. It was Miami. We got there, and we stopped by the liquor store. We got some liquor because, her friends were looking for a good time, not a long time. So we got some liquor, and we went to the liquor store, and she asked me to tie her shoes. And, she's a sneakerhead, so she wanted me to tie her shoes the way, so the way that it made the shoelaces shorter so she didn't have to tie them, but the shoes were still tight and wouldn't slip off. I didn't know how to do that. I did not know how to do that. I just string up my shoelaces regular, and I just tie them bitches, and I just slip my foot in and out. Or if the shoelaces are already strung up, and they're in the little knot form, not the bunny form, but like just a little knot, I leave it like that, and I just slip my foot in and out, in and out. But she gave me that, and when I tell you, my brain glitched, boy. My brain glitched. Like, I seen she had one shoe because her little brother is also, she made her little brother a sneakerhead, so her little brother knew what to do, and so he did one shoe, and then he didn't get to do the other shoe. So he did one shoe, he finished it, And then we went to the liquor store. She gave me the shoes, and she was like, "Here, finish this." And I was like, I literally looked at the shoes, and my brain said, my brain glitched because I didn't know what I was doing. It was like the shoe lane was going left, under, up, down, right, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, cheat code, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It wasn't just like a little loop and a loop and a loop and a loop. It was like loop, and then this one goes loop, and then this one goes under the, and then this one goes over this shoe, and then it loop, and then yeah, it was. Yeah, it's here. Right, it was crazy, man. I didn't know what to do. So she did that. She took care of that, but at the same time, she was also trying to put on her little press on nails, trying to put her nails look cute and stuff like that. Yeah. So I just gave her back the shoes. She finished putting on her nails, and we finally went to go to the B&B that her friends were at. And they were actually pretty. They were already lit. They've been lit since this morning. They went out for brunch and they were drinking, and they also went to the club the night before, and so they were already lit. And when we got there, met them, introduced, did what we had to do, and then boom, we popped open the bottle and we just started taking shots. And somebody decided to bring shroom gummies, and it would just so happen to be 5. Just so happened to be 5 in the bag. That was like a gummy for everybody. I didn't take it because I'm DD. I was DD. So, I didn't do anything. I was fine. But it's just pop shroom gummies and just start taking it back. And I was like, I'll take another shot. I'll take another shot. But yeah. So after we did, after we all got lit, pre-gamed at the B&B, Liana and I went downstairs to go grab our clothes from the car, and we just, we changed. Because we were not going to wear our travel clothes to the club. So we just put on a nice little fit. Actually, I think I wore this shirt. I did wear this shirt. I wore this shirt. But we went out, and we did we did what we had to do. We was out, we was getting lit, we was walking down the strip, blasting music. We got there again, taking it to the head. And we was walking around, and at Miami, they be out there like hustling, like taking pictures. And they be like, you get 20 pictures for like this. You get not 20 pictures, but you get like this amount of pictures for this much. And at first they took like 5. They start off with 5, and they be like, oh, it's $20. Okay, but then you take more, and then obviously it ranks up. So there was this group of guys that got stopped by the camera person, and the camera person started taking pictures, and it just so happened that the girls that I was with, we was walking, and then they ran into the group of guys. They got into their pictures, and they started talking and changing, and then snap, and then, but hey, the other niggas paid for it. I didn't pay for shit. They paid for it, so they got the pictures, and then they airdropped it to the girls, and then they sent it to me. Right. Let's. And then what happened after that? If I'm not mistaken, we seen a group of people cross the street, so we went over there to see what that was, and then they all disappeared. And it just so happened that they got on the party bus. And so the girls was like, oh, can we get on? And the dude was like, oh yeah, y'all can get on. He can't come though. And I was like, what the fuck did I do? And then the girl was like, oh, that's lame. He with us. Da, 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 da. And I was like, yeah. Listen, that whole night I was contemplating if I need to, sass it up a little bit. Just in case, because, hey. And I was like, I was with like 4 females, so I could have just stood up a little bit, and I could have probably went in with them. Yeah, I don't know how things work. But we went into the club, And we went to like this little voodoo lounge. It was called Voodoo Lounge. It was actually a nice little Caribbean club. You know, it's playing nice little, you know, old school throwbacks and Caribbean music. Nothing popping nowadays. Nothing too old, but just, you know, right in that middle. And I was vibing with it. Like I know was trying to put me on, you know, one of her girls, and I was fucking with the girl, but I just wasn't. I don't like when things are forced like that. Like, I'm not the type of person to like go out there and advertise myself and show off and all that stuff. But like, if I fuck with you, let me, like, I guess I don't know. I guess there's like a way that I do things. You know, you feel me? And even though it may be like a long process, it just works for me. You know, she was like, you know, go dance for her, and I was like, I'm not feeling that type of energy. It ain't giving. And I was like, no. I also don't like to be the person to try to go out there and then, especially in front of people I know. Like, if I was with a bunch of, like, if I was with my niggas, I'd probably, all right, you know, fuck it, let's go, let's do it. But like, I don't know. I feel like when I'm out there with the girls, I just have to be vigilant because I'm not protective. Well, I'm protective, but like I like to make sure that everybody I'm with is straight, and if they getting fucked up, then I'm not getting fucked up, and I don't want anybody wandering off nowhere. Not saying that they can't take care of themselves. I just 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got all my peas in the pot. Oh, this pea went to the bathroom. I still got 3 here. Okay, this pea came back. Okay, cool. Let me get my drink. Vibe. Okay, she over there dancing on a nigga. Cool. I still got 2 peas here. Where the other pea went? Okay, she over. Like, that's how I am. At least when I'm out with the girls at the club. But like, I don't like being forced. Like, you know, go get with her. Like, I'm gonna hook you up. Like, okay, you can hook me up, but how you gonna hook me up? You know, what are you gonna do? And if I'm not comfortable with it, I'm not gonna act on it. But one of the girls did leave the club because she met a dude earlier, like a couple days before, that she was talking to, and so she went to go hang out with him, and it was me, Liana, and 2 of the other girls. And me and Liana and 2 of the other girls. And so we was like, where's so-and-so? And we was like, okay, you know, she's out here with a dude. One girl was like, I'm finna go find her. And then Liana was like, Micah, go with her. And I was like, fine. So I went with her. And it was pretty, nothing happened. It was pretty cordial. We kept it cordial, kept it cool, you know, a little bicker, laughter, all that fun stuff. And then Liana and one of her other friends that stayed back, they actually came out. And we ended up running into the one chick that left early to go be with the dude. We actually ran into her, and we was like, you could tell that they was gone a little bit. So we was like, okay, I think it's time to wind down. We went back to the car, and one homegirl wasn't feeling good. The homegirl that I left the club with wasn't feeling good. So she sat down, and, you know, she you know, she did what she had to do. We was just all chilling, waiting, you know. We was just chilling. She was doing what she had to do. I had the car on, you know, playing the music, and they was giving her water, taking care of her, and Lana's in the seat next to me, and we just literally, we all just sitting there chilling, waiting for the right move, waiting for the right time to go. So when homegirl was, you know, good to go, we all got in the car, put her next to the window, and we pulled up to the smoke shop, and everybody got out to go inside, except for me, because I wasn't in a parking spot, so I had to put on my hazards and stay there. But homegirl went to the door, and she just, you know, let it all out. It ain't nothing bad, it was just liquid, because, you know, that's the type of time we was on. I don't think no one ate that whole night. So everything was just, you know, doing the do. Then we all got back in the car, went back to the B&B, and the B&B that we was at was like 19 minutes from the place. It was like a apartment or a hotel or something, and they had a garage under the building, And the garage was the most weirdest thing ever. First of all, it was cool because they had like lifters. So like, it's like you park one car and then it lifts and then you can park another car. But all the parking spots were straight, like regular parking spots, except for mine. Mine was like, okay, putting the mic down once I could get the feet out, right? All the parking spots were, I'm not putting the mic down because you can't hear me. All the parking spots were vertical. Mine was horizontal. Like, vertical, and mine was like horizontal. So I had to like, everybody else could just park straight. I had to, into that bit. Hey. I don't know how I did it, but I managed to do it. And then we went up to the B&B, and two of them won. One girl, because she ended up taking 2 of the shroom gummies. She took 1, and then we got out there. Everything happened. She took another one. So, she was... Woo. Anyway, so homegirl that was blah, and the homegirl that took 2 shroom gummies, they went up and they checked out. They immediately just went in and Liana and homegirl number 3, or anyway, Liana and the other homegirl that went out to go be with home, that boy, they went outside on the balcony and they sparked up a little bit. They did what they had to do. Meanwhile, she was cooking pizza, like DiGiorno's pizza. That pizza was actually busting. She had thin crust and like just regular like pan pizza or something. That pizza was busting. And so we was eating. I was trying not to eat all that stuff because I'm the guest here. Like I'm the guest here. So I was like, let me not look like a fucking hog, right? But nah, dog, that pizza was busting. So I was like, all right, let me take one. Let me take another, and I take another. And so after we sat down and ate, Liana laid on the couch and Liana fell asleep, and then homegirl came and sat in a chair, because it was like 2 like armchairs. She sat in a chair and she fell asleep. Meanwhile, she still had pizza in the oven. So I was like, okay. So I got up and I took the pizza, took it out, and I just cleaned everything. I put pizza where pizza not should go. Like I took it out the oven and I just put it in the microwave because for Airbnb, I didn't want to put pizza in the microwave. I mean, not in the microwave, in the refrigerator. It was like, yeah. Anyway, I just took it. I just put it in the microwave, turned the oven off. Whatever dishes they had, I cleaned, and then I cleaned the table with like I cleaned the table, and then I just sat down and I fell asleep. Speaking of falling asleep, bro. Tell me how my cousin texted me and was like, Micah, I need you. It's important. I said, what's up? Then I said, pause. If it involves me physically being there, I can't because I'm in Miami. I sent that text, put my phone down, immediately knocked out. It's like I wasn't trying to. It's just, I immediately knocked out, bro. Tell me how I wake up the next morning and she was like, Micah, I got into a situation and now I'm walking home and I need do you have $20? And then she was like, oh no, this dude is trying to pick me up. He's going to kidnap me. Oh wait, no, never mind. Do you have Cash App or Zelle? Oh, never mind, I'm home. I was like, mind you, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I sent my text. I went to sleep. Literally, not even minutes later. It was literally a second later after I sent my text. She sent her text. And then she sent another one. And then an hour passed and she sent 2 more. And I was like... But then she said she was home. So I was like, okay, well then it's good. And I wasn't ignoring her. Let me just get that straight. I wasn't ignoring her. But like, it was just... I had intoxicants in my system. I was out. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I was ready to knock out, okay? And she sent that, and I woke up to that, and I was like, oh my god. Like, what happened if she didn't text me she was home? I would have been crazy. Like, I don't know what I would have done. And I was like, I'm all the way in Miami, so what do I do? But she made it home, and Liana and I, we woke up that morning. We packed up our stuff and we got ready to go. The girl that was sleeping on the chair next to me, she woke up and she walked us down, and all that fun stuff. Liana and I, we got up, we got on the road, we got gas, we got back on the road to Orlando. That was the hardest shit ever, because I don't like waking up in the morning and driving, because especially if I don't get my good night's rest, we're not gonna make it alive. Yeah, we're not gonna make it alive. Somehow I fell asleep. Look up, there was a truck in front of me. Swerve. We're alive. Still falling asleep and shit on the way home. So I had to pull over to a rest stop and go inside and just get something to drink to try to keep myself up. Meanwhile, Lionel's like, Micah. Oh, okay. But she was asleep too. So it's not like, I was sleeping and she was awake. And he's like, Micah, you're gonna kill. No, she was sleeping, I was sleeping. And we was like, fuck. I didn't tell her that we almost died, though. She probably knew we almost died, but I didn't tell her we almost died. Yeah. But then after that, we made it home. I dropped her off. I came home. I took my ass to sleep. No, I dropped her off. Came home. Dropped the car off, and then my mother had to come pick me up. I had to take my mother home. I came home, went to sleep, had to wake up. I got home at like 12, right? Went to sleep, stayed asleep for like an hour. Probably even wasn't an hour, but I went to sleep with sleeping for an hour in my mind. Because then I had to wake up and I had to leave the house at 2 to be to work at 3. And then I just did work, and that was the end of that. That was the end of that day. Thank you. Yeah. Side note, before I get into my other story about going to Miami, I quit the smoke shop. Yeah, so literally that Thursday before we went to Miami was my last day. I quit because literally the week after I quit was band camp, and I was literally gonna be at school literally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the week after that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the week after that is Monday, Tuesday, and then I'm off, and then school, which I will be going back to school. Yes, so I will be going back to school in August when the fall semester starts, as well as teaching like 2 or 3 color guard classes when public school starts. So, and I had to drop the job because it was a lot. There were only 2 people who were working at the shop, and if one person needed off, and then that person had to work, and if the other person needed off, then that person had to work, and then if we both needed off, one of us had to sacrifice. Right. And 1, I didn't think that was fair, but 2, it was just like, I don't want to work. I don't want to get paid less. I don't want to work more and get paid less. I'd rather work less and get paid more, right? I was making $10 an hour plus commission and tips, and we got paid weekly, which was fine. It was fine because I would normally work the week and like split a couple of days. I work have 2 or 3 days where I work literally from 9 to 9:30, which is like 12 and a half hours, and I would take some days and work like 8-hour shifts. Yeah, it was fine, but it was just the fact it was getting old, and it wasn't something I wanted to do. It was something I did because I was helping out my friend Harrison. I was helping out Harrison because the guy before me quit immediately, and they needed somebody immediately. So I helped him, and I was with him for a year, and it was nice because I was getting paid weekly. It was like $600 weekly, and that was fine. It was enough to cover all the bills that I needed to cover and all that fun stuff. But it wasn't something I wanted to do, and I definitely had better opportunities that I see for myself in the future. Plus, if I dialed it down to only working 8 hours I wasn't making anything. Like, what that would really put in perspective for me was if I took it seriously and I only worked 40 hours a week, I wasn't making jack squat. Like $300 or $400, which after car insurance, and I'm also paying for a trip to Eastern Europe, and after that it would have been like, yeah, no. So I did that. So I stopped that. I quit that, and I'm working at schools, which one school pays me weekly, the other one's gonna be paying me bi-weekly, and the other one's paying me like every month. So I have some form of income coming in that'll help me cover what I need to cover, right? Plus I still have the, what do you call that thing? I still have the mini golf. So if anything, if I need to put in some days at the mini golf, some extra days at the mini golf versus just Saturday and Sunday, I can always do that. And still have, and that's every 2 weeks. So I will still have like income coming in from other places. So I quit the smoke shop. The following week, which is literally, so I went to on the 8th, right? I went to Miami on the 8th. That following week on the 11th is when guard camp started. So for those of you who don't know, guard camp is literally just a week where all my color guard students come in and we work with them before band camp starts. And band camp is when the full band and percussion is there, right? So color guard starts working a week earlier because we have more to teach, we have more to catch up on. Oh, not catch up on, but we have more to teach. So we start a week earlier, and that was for my Edgewater kids and my East River kids, right? Guard camp was guard camp. I just went back and forth between the two. Nothing crazy. Actually, there was crazy stuff. It was a lot going on with the guard camp. I don't think one of my students felt like, I don't know how to explain it, but one of my students kept coming to me and was just giving me all her complaints, and the guard director at ER also, like, we had a whole thing with the uniforms, and the band director had a lot going on. There was a lot of things going on. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, but guard camp went through. We had a good guard camp. Both of those teams, they actually caught up, and we actually were able to get them where we needed them to be. So that's good. That weekend is when I went to Miami with Jamie. She wanted to go there early, but I was not having it. I put the car, reserved the car for 12, because I also got a rental car. So I reserved the car for 12. I did not feel like waking up any earlier than, like, I don't know. I think that day I woke up at like around like 9 or 10 o'clock, or 8 or 9 o'clock, which I could have got the car earlier, but I was like, no. So I got there at 12, and there was only there was only one person at the time, and he had a lot of people, and it just so happens that his coworker came in, and it kind of sped up the process, not too much so. But luckily I reserved my car, so they had a car waiting for me. It wasn't the car that I picked, but they had a vehicle there. And it was a nice little Mazda like SUV, which was good because it had enough leg space, and it was a nice vehicle. So after I got the car, I went to go pick up Jamie, and we hit the road for Miami. She wanted to go jet skiing and take a boat tour in the morning, but because I got the car at 12, we didn't do that. And yeah, we didn't do that. When we got there around like 6. Got there around 6. We checked into the B&B, and we got dressed, and we went out to the design district. And the design district was such a nice place. It was you can tell it was a upscale area. They had a lot of like like designer brands and stores and like restaurants and stuff like that there. You could tell it was a very upscale area, but it was the design district, so it was like literally their whole art district was in this area. There was a lot of abstract art and like cool building designs and all that fun stuff, and I really liked it because it was a nice aesthetic. It was a nice aesthetic. And we were out there for a couple hours. They even had like a little outdoors mall, not like the outlets. It felt like an actual indoors mall, but outside. I guess like the outlets, if you want to compare it like that. But they had like a lot of designer places. After that, Jamie wanted to go out to dinner, but then we talked to the security guard at the mall, and he was telling us about the nightlife. And so when we were leaving the place, she was like, either we're going to dinner, or we don't eat and we go to the club, or we find something light and go to the club. And she was really, the club was on her mind. Like the itinerary said dinner, but then I said club, and she said club. We said club. So we got that. We went back to the Airbnb. Oh, let me go back. Right. Before we went to the design district, we pulled up to the Airbnb, and there's literally a creamish house. No. It was like, I guess like the color of this bottle, right? There was a building, because it's apartments. So there was a building that looked like that, a green building, another building that looked like that, another green building. The directions took us to the right building. It took us to the right building, but as Jaden was reading the instructions, she said it's a cream building. I lied. It was a cream building, a green building, a yellowish building, and then another green building. The directions took us to the right building, but then she read cream building, and we was like, okay, so it's that one. We went to that one, and we found the building. We was knocking on we was like putting in the code. The code wasn't working. We was knocking on the door, trying to put in the code, or we was trying to put in the code, trying to open the door, and somebody came and was like, she said something. I think she said you have the wrong house, but I don't know what she said. And I was like, Jamie, there's people in here. She's like, what if there's squatters? There's nobody in here. And she texted the people, and we were trying to put in the code. We were knocking on the door, da-da-da-da. And then the people said she sent the address. It's building ... And we was like, okay. So we went downstairs. She was like, what building it is? We was like, oh, this is 500. And we went down. No, it was 420. It was building 520. And it was like, okay, well, this is building 500, building 490. This is building 490. So we got there, we checked in. We was like, okay. This is where we're supposed to be. So we checked in. We inspected our Airbnb. We did everything. And was like, all right, what are we gonna do? I was like, I want to go to the design district. She was like, all right, let's go to the design district. So we got dressed. We come out the building, and as we're driving off, we see police. We see police in front of the building that we were at. And I was like, oh my gosh, Jamie, there's police there. And she was like, yeah, and what? And I was like, Jamie, there's police there. And she was like, what that got to do with us? I was like, Jamie, there's police at the building that we were trying to get into. She said, oh. And we started dying laughing. And we were like, we're sorry, because it sounded like there was a lady inside, but it also sounded like it might have been kids. I was thinking like kids home alone. They called their parents. The parents like, call 911, something like that. So we felt bad. We did feel bad, but we obviously didn't go. We were like, what? We didn't go and say, oh my gosh, that was us. We're so sorry. Like, no. We just said, drive. And then that's when we went to the design district. And then that's when the whole thing happened. And we took pictures. We found the hotel. Not the hotel, but we found the mall. Security guy said the mall. Because he was saying Orlando's lame. And Orlando does not have a lot of things going on as Miami does. So I can't really argue with that one. I don't think it's lame though. But, each to their own. So we went back to the B&B. We actually changed our clothes to go out to the club this time. And we went out to the strip. And I don't know. Like I said, it was Jamie's first time in Miami. So Jamie was just like, she was in awe, like big eyes and everything. Like, she's like, yes, this reminds me of New York. This is where I'm supposed to be. So she definitely enjoyed herself. But we got there. We got to the strip. We found parking. And we walked up. We literally walked up and down like that was for breakfast. We walked up and we walked down, and we found a nice little place to eat. And from there, we found a nice little place to eat. We just ate like some chicken tacos. She had a burger and we had a margarita. And it was a small margarita, but that margarita was big, boy. It was big for a small. So we went there. And then after we ate, we went inside and we, they had like a little lounge club type dance room scene type going on. So in there, we enjoyed ourselves. We danced. I got a slushie. We danced. Yada, 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 yada. Then we went home. That was the end of night one with Jam Sus in Miami. Jamie and Micah Sus in Miami. Day two, we woke up and we went out for brunch. We went out to go look for brunch and we tried to go to Bacon Bitch. But Bacon Bitch they had a wait. We had reservations and it was about to rain. And she was like, if it rains, it's going to be a 3-hour reservation. 3-hour wait time. So we walked up and down the strip. And then she gave up and she's like, you just pick a place. And when she did that, we were next to Wallin' Out, which is Nick's Cannon's brunch spot. She said, you pick the place. And I said, we're going in here. And that's what we did. We went in there. And it was very crazy because they literally just opened this was the 9th. No, sorry, not the 9th. This was 15th. This was the 15th. Whatever that Saturday was. And they just opened 2 weeks ago, or a week ago. So everything was very brand new. It was still pretty cool, but they were saying that with the storm that just happened, they rushed business in. They also had an event going on, so it was a long wait. I still enjoyed myself. I was pretty cool. Jamie was a little fed up because it was raining and she was hungry, so she got hangry. But I thought it was pretty cool. It was a nice little vibe. They did take forever to bring us our food and was a little disorganized. But again, I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt. I still think it was a cool place. And if I, would have rated it on Google, I probably would have gave them 4 stars. Because it was still a pretty cool place. I get what Nick Cannon was trying to go. It was just, we were there at the wrong time. We were there at the wrong time. So, but I ordered the nice little, egg, ham, and cheese with Chipotle sauce skillet. Boy. When I tell you, that skillet was bussin'. Chipotle sauce. Whew. I was mad because they gave me a regular serving, but if Miami wasn't Miami, if the strip wasn't the strip, I probably would have had 2. Cause I ordered a skillet and a mimosa. But I probably would have ordered 2 skillets because I was so good, and I could have definitely had 3. Oh, cause I love breakfast. Breakfast is my go-to food. I can have breakfast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So when you give me a chance to eat a breakfast skillet and the skillet busting like that, I'll go back and order another one. Take my card. Jamie had the wings. I think the wings were alright. I don't know what she said, but the breakfast skillet was breakfast skilleting. And so when we asked for the check, sadly our server wasn't, she came in and she took our order and then she was gone and we didn't see her after that. I really hope it was just because they were understaffed, but so I don't think Jamie really vibed with it, but I did. I liked it. And so we went up, we waited for our receipt, and the receipt took forever to get there. And we told 2 people for the receipt and still didn't bring it. So we just went up, we checked out, and we walked. I wanted to go to the beach, so we walked across the street to the beach. And I just put my feet in. I was in my bathing suit, but she wasn't in her bathing suit. She was just in a nice little sundress or whatever the case may be. Not a sundress, but she was in a nice little beach-esque outfit. Not her bathing suit. So we didn't go in the water. We just walked in the water, got our feet wet. Came back and we chilled. We chilled across the street because next to Wallin' Out was this place called the Palace, which seems like a little drag queen brunch spot, and they were lit. They were litty than Bacon Bitch. And if you know anything about Bacon Bitch and you had a good experience about Bacon Bitch, the Palace 10 times better. They were it. I was we looked at each other and we were like, you definitely need to make a reservation a month in advance if you're trying to eat there, because they're not doing walk-ins. They literally have show times. Like, I don't know, let's say like 12 o'clock is, or like 10 o'clock is one show, and then 11:30 is their next show, and then 12:45 is their next. Like, it's, yeah. Like, you definitely have to book that way in advance if you're trying to be like with the cool kids. After we left the beach, we went back to the little restaurant that we went to the night before, but we didn't get food. We just got drinks because we already ate. So we just got drinks, and they had nice little slushies. And Jamie got like the pina colada, and I got the strawberry daiquiri. And no, she got the Miami Vice, which is like a pina colada strawberry. And I got the strawberry daiquiri, and she liked my strawberry daiquiri. And I was like, fine, you can have it. I'll just take the Miami Vice. It is what it is. We didn't stress about it. After that, I forgot what we did after that. I think we just went back to the hotel, and I definitely did pass out. Like, we went back to the hotel, and we were just chilling, trying to figure out what to do. And I was like, well, we're not going anywhere. I'm gonna... Oh, it was early. It was an early day. But I'm pretty sure, I don't know what we did. I really think we spent our whole day trying to drive around and find parking for just places. I think, and then we ate, we drank. Oh, we went to this, we tried to go to this burger place. And after we found it, it wasn't really anything going on. I forgot what it was called. Was it called the Pink Burger? I think it was called the Pink Burger. Either way, it looked like a little house, and you go in, and everything's just open. You go inside the house, and the house is actually like just, it's literally the kitchen. Everything else is outside. So we open the door, we go to the outside, and it's literally like a whole, like, I don't know, but it's very aesthetic, and it was just like a whole little scene, and like they had like pink picnic tables, and they had like a nice little bus, and they had a bar. You could go inside the bus and just sit, because the bus was the bus was obviously gutted from a bus, and they turned it into a nice little lounge area. So there's couches and AC, and they had picnic tables, and the pool was closed, but they had a pink pool. Like, not the pool wasn't pink, but the area was pink. And it was just a nice little tropical pink aesthetic theme. And it just so happened that this lady was having a casting call for like for like male models. I don't have a model body, but it was just funny. We got there, and she was like, "Are you here for the casting?" I was like, "No, but what casting?" And she was like, "She's having a fashion show." I was like, "Oh, cool, okay." So then Jamie, we were like, "Okay, cool." Jamie got her pictures, and then we left. We tried to go to another place to find parking, but the parking there was like $45. And we were like, we're not gonna be here for like that long. So we was like, nah. $45, or was it like 60? It was one of the two. We was like, nah. So we found a parking garage, went in the parking garage, we parked, we went down, and instead of going to that place, we just seen a nice little pizza spot. We got pizza, and we dipped. And that's when we went back to the hotel. We ate our pizza. I was like, if we're not doing anything, I'm gonna pass out. So I passed out. Woke up later that night. What did we do? I don't think we did anything that night, because I know I woke up and I wanted some water. So I went to drove around the corner and went to the CVS. But as I was leaving, there was a skate park next to the place that we were staying at, and they had like an event going on. So I was like, what's happening? The dude was like, well, there's this famous just Miami singer, like, not famous, but he's like a radio star, and he has like a little thing going on, but the cover was $80, and I was like, skirt. Yeah, not doing it. But then after that, yeah, I think we checked out, and then we woke up Sunday morning. We didn't wake up early, but we woke up early enough because Jamie found some boat rides, like a boat ride. And yeah, she found a boat ride the night before, and we was talking about it, and she was like, if you want to go, book it. So she found it, I booked mine, and then she couldn't book hers because it wasn't there no more. I guess like the booking was full, and I took the last booking, and we had to be there. So the ride was at like 12, so we had to be there like 11, find parking, go to the boat. We got there, like 9, because we had to check out at 11. and we didn't have to be there till 10, like at 12. So we checked out early, and we left at like 9 or 10. We drove around went to South Beach, and we went to that area. Tried to find parking, couldn't find parking. So that involves us driving around in the circles, in the circles, in the circles. Finally found a spot. And we killed time. So we went to the beach for a little bit. I got inside the water. Jamie just stepped out because she didn't want to get her hair wet. She didn't want to lose her phone. She didn't want to put her phone down in the sand for someone to take it. So she stayed and she took her pictures, She was just really there for the aesthetic. She just wanted pictures. When I tell you that girl took too many damn photos. If you're seeing this right now, hold on. If you're watching this, you took too many damn photos. It was not that serious. I know you was trying to do it for the aesthetic. I get that. No, not even that. No. You took the right amount of photos. I'm just not the camera person. I don't take photos. I don't like taking photos of people, and I don't take good photos. I tell y'all this. I don't take good photos, and y'all still give me the camera and expect me to take good photos. What is wrong with y'all? Anyway, so I told Jamie, I was just like, hey, you can take my boat ride. I honestly didn't. I don't care. Like, when I go on a trip like this, as long as I have a place to lay my head, everything else can be played by ear. The only thing that needs to, in my opinion, the only thing that really needs to be taken care of is make sure that we have a B&B to sleep that I can go to whenever I want to go to, and make sure that we just have reliable transportation. After that, if you say let's go skydiving, I'm like, let's go. It's like, do we have an itinerary? No, that's fine. I don't care. I really like stuff like that. I just play it by ear. Play it by ear. And it's just so funny because I seen okay. Sorry. And it's just so funny because I seen a TikTok and it was like, there's a difference between if you're trying to travel and if you're trying to go on a vacation. If you're trying to travel, you should go people that's trying to like sightsee and everything. Be touristy. Want to go to the museum and all that fun stuff. If you're going for people that's just on vacation, people on vacation are just trying to chillax, lay around by the pool, all that fun stuff. And I seen that TikTok, I was like, what is happening right now? I was like, I think I'm definitely on a vacation mood. I think Jamie was on a travel mood. And it's funny because literally I think I seen that video Saturday. And right now I'm talking about, I seen the video Saturday. So when she said that, I was like, and she was like, if you're a traveler and if you're a traveler and you're with vacation people, things might not always work out. You guys might always butt heads because you're trying to go out and do something they're not. And then vice versa. If you're a vacationer and you're with travelers, they're always trying to go out and do something. You're just trying to stay home and chill. Now, if you can find that person that's 50-50 and it's just up for whatever, go out and do something or just chill, cool. You may not always find that person, but now you know. So that got me thinking, it's like, what kind of trip are we having right now in Miami, right? Definitely, and you could definitely tell from Jamie, because she had a whole itinerary, and it was more so about visiting Miami and going than just to go on like a vacation. Like, yes, it was vacation from work and in reality, but from like whole itinerary and everything that she had planned and what she wanted to do, it was more of a travel trip, not a vacation trip. For me, it was more of a vacation trip. I was also like, I don't care, let's do whatever. But it was more of a vacation trip for me and a travel trip for her. So I definitely think that there were times where we butted heads and we collided from time to time, just because of what was happening. Like, I didn't want to do any work. So after that video, it definitely put into perspective on when I'm traveling with people, who am I traveling with and what are their intentions? Because normally when I travel, right, I do EF tours. Everything's planned, so I already know that the people on that trip, what their intentions are, is to travel, see things, and to have a little bit of fun, nightlife and all that fun stuff. So I already know what their intentions are. Versus this trip being like, okay, being this my first trip with somebody, I knew that there was an itinerary, but I didn't quite know what the intentions were until I seen that video. And then when I seen that video, it was like, this is what your intentions are. This is what my intentions is. Now I know. So, but I think that was a pretty cool video. Like I said, it put into her perspective on like when you're traveling with people, find out what kind of traveler they are, so you know the intentions behind them taking this trip. Yeah, so you know the intentions behind them taking this trip. And then you can go from there. If you're a traveler, you're definitely going to be out, active, sightseeing, waking up early at the butt crack of dawn trying to do that stuff. If you're a vacationer, you're definitely going to be sleeping in, not trying to do much. Maybe go out to a club, get drinks, chill out by the pool. Yeah. So, but, going back to Sunday, we went to the beach, and as it was getting closer to the time for the boat ride, we were going back to the car, and they canceled. Because it was like, if you miss it, you're not getting your money back. And I'll put $90 in that, right? I was like, But they canceled. And so I was like, okay, well then I'm going to get my $90 back. And I did get my $90 back. Woohoo. They canceled, so we tried to find something else to do. Jamie made a reservation for Bacon Bitch, but that was at 3. It wasn't even 12 yet when they canceled. So it was like, what are we going to do for this time? Mind you, the night before, when we couldn't go to Bacon Bitch, I made a reservation for Sunday at 9 o'clock. And I told her, I was like, hey, our reservation for Bacon Bitch is at 9 o'clock. She said, that's too early. I said, okay. Well then, I said, I also didn't see any other time. She said, that's not true. There's other times. I said, okay, make a reservation. She made one for 3 o'clock. She made one for 3 o'clock. And then found the boat at 12. And the boat, it's a 2-hour boat ride, so we weren't going to get off the boat till like 2. And they had to be to Bacon Bitch at 3. Mind you, it was, if you're walking from where we were at on the strip for Bacon Bitch was to the boat rides, it's a 16-minute drive. Hour walk. So we obviously was not walking from the boat ride to Bacon Bitch and vice versa. So after they canceled the boat ride, we was like, what are we going to do? I was like, Bacon Bitch is not until 3. She was like, well, we don't got to go to Bacon Bitch. We go somewhere else. And so there was this place that she had on her plans, her itinerary, called Nikki Beach. And so we went to Nikki Beach. And when I tell you, it was the most like Miami, luxurious, tropical Bahama place ever. I was like, whoa, this is actually pretty cool, because it's a restaurant. Or it's a restaurant, or it could be an adult resort where you can go, you can either just grab a table and just, chill at the restaurant, or you can rent out an all-day bed or cabana, and you can partake in their all-day or in their brunch buffet, which was till like 4 o'clock, and then they had dinner. So you could partake in their buffet, which was like a fee of like $80 something, plus the bet was like $100 something. And so, well, Jamie and I split it, but so you could partake in their buffet, you have the all-day bed, and they also have a beach. So you can just go to the beach, come back to the bed, go eat. Beach, bed, eat, beach, bed, eat, beach, bed, eat. And you could just do that, like the bed was all day, brunch was, and you had to pay for brunch, so once brunch was over, that was it. And then you had to pay again for their lunch or for like their dinner special, whatever they had going on. So we did brunch until 4. After that, I was back and forth between the beach and the bed, beach and the bed, beach and the bed. Jamie had brunch. We went to the beach, and then she came back to the bed. So, but I was back and forth between the beach and the bed, beach and the bed, beach and the bed, because I was enjoying it. The water was clear. I could see I could see my feet in the water. I was like rejuvenating myself. I was rejuvenating myself. It was a time. I also got to see some of the cruises take off, which was kind of cool. And somebody had a gender reveal. Like there's a helicopter that came up and just started letting out blue smoke, and then you just see people screaming, 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 and clapping, and you see blue confetti, and you see a bunch of guys running to the water. I was like, that's cool. But after brunch was over, oh sorry. So after brunch was over at 4, and we stayed. Like I said, we stayed at the bed. The bed was all day. We found parking. Parking was until 7. Mind you, parking was terrible. Like, trying to find parking was an ass. Because Nikki Beach doesn't have their own parking. It was first come, first serve. You're either parking for the beach, or you're parking for Nikki Beach. First come, first serve. Like, they didn't have their own reserve parking. So we drove around for like 45 minutes trying to find a nice parking spot, a nice cheap parking spot. We ended up finding one for like, I think $30. And it was valet parking until like 7 p.m. Mind you, we were there like 12. I think the reservation was at 1. So we were there for a long time. Nikki Beach, got a bed, all day brunch, went to the beach. Brunch ended at 4. We left Nikki at like 5. I think we left Nikki at 5. Picked up our car, hit the road, came back to Orlando. After that, we parted ways. So it was definitely a good time. I definitely enjoyed myself in Miami for this being like my actual like first weekend in Miami recreationally, not visiting family or whatever the case may be. Just me, myself, and I, and a travel partner. Just being in Miami recreationally, it was very nice. I really enjoyed myself, and I definitely would go back. Food for thought, cause in the Strip, they got a service charge, 20% on what you buy at restaurants. Cause we went to that first restaurant on the Strip, right? Mind you, the drinks was like 18 something. My food was like 19 something. Jamie food was like 20 something. That service charge of 20% on each item, put that bit up to like $103. I was like, $103. In my head, I was cussing out the server, but I just paid it anyway, and then she sent me back the money, so it wasn't bad. But I didn't know. I wanted to ask why, but I didn't want to ask why. It wasn't until after we went to Wildin' Out, the brunch at Wildin' Out, and we went to go get our little frozen cocktails, I seen the receipt, and it was like a service charge of 20%. So it took my $11 drink and made it $15. Did I say that right? No, it took my $12 drink, made it $15 plus tax. So for those of you who go to Miami, if you're on the Strip and you're looking for food, just be ready for that service charge. Service charge is 20%. So if you're whatever you're looking at, if it's like $15, it's definitely gonna go up to like $18, $20 plus tax. So you're definitely gonna spend like $24 on just one item, give or take. I don't know, my math might be off. So it's definitely cheaper if you find somewhere to eat mainland Miami and then go over to the Strip for all your party stuff. But if you got money like that, cool. Like I will flex that I'm a broke nigga any day. Even I can have like $1,000 in my bank account and I still be like, I can hit the jackpot and be a millionaire. Still flex I'm a broke nigga, cause my money's not for you, my money for me, right? And if I go out to eat, I'm thinking like I'm just finna get some like little pasta. I'm finna get some pasta. You're not even a 5-star restaurant, so I'm finna get some pasta. Pasta should only be like $20. Why are you charging me $30 for pasta? Like $30 is not even bad though. $30 for pasta. I can do some $30 for pasta. Anyway, my case being is that the Strip got a nice little 20% service charge, so it's gonna be a little costly. So we was at Nikki Beach. Why do we break $200 each? $202 each. Yeah, so it was because Nikki Beach, first of all, it had the all day breakfast, which was like $80 each. So I had like 80, she did 80, and the bed was like $100. So altogether it came up to like almost it came up to like $400 and something. Cause cause the bed, had to pay for brunch, had to pay for your cocktails that you wanted that weren't included, cocktails, and then they brought us complimentary waters, but the waters was like $5 each. No, $10 each. No, first of all, no one asked you to bring me some natural spring glacier water from Iceland. You brought this over, so why are you charging me for it? Oh, that's what I don't like. So we end up spending like $200 on Nikki Beach, but the experience was worth it. It was definitely nice, and I will say Jamie did get some nice pictures out of that. Did I take them? Yes, I did take them. You know, were they good? I mean, she only posted 2 out of like the 45 pictures I took, so I don't know. You could do the math. But yeah, trip to Miami was really good, and I will say, if you do go, do it. Just be careful, cause that service charge is gonna get you if you're on the strip, right? But we did have fun. I had fun. I hope she had fun. Even for the times that we did butt heads. Yeah, guys. So, we are at our mark. We are at this says 1 hour and 66 minutes. Like, I don't know what that converts to. That's 1 hour and 6 minutes, right? Anyway, we are at our time mark. So I just want to thank you guys for listening. And we have another song from Solotheartist. Yeah. So, I'm Micah Gregory. This is the Micah Show. Thank you for watching. Or listening. Thank you. Let's do that again. I am Micah Gregory. This is the Micah Show. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, Grandma. I just want to tell you that I love you, baby. I really feel like you left me too soon. And I ain't had no time. Damn. It's Solotheartist, and I ain't had no time. Why you had to leave me? I couldn't say goodbye. Why you had to leave me? God, take my life. Ain't you 949 in the sky, in the sky, in the sky. And I ain't had no time. Why you had to leave me? I couldn't say goodbye. Why you had to leave me? God, take my life. Ain't you 949 in the sky, in the sky, in the sky. Zakai, why you had to die? Miss Prissy, why you had to leave us? Why you had to slide? It took away my dogs and I ain't feel the same inside. It took away my heart and I ain't been the same guy. I ain't been the same guy. I've been going through with demons on my mind. I be in and out them thoughts since my grandma died. But I'ma go insane when it's drama time. I'ma go insane when it's drama time. I be restless and stepping, yeah, I'm a whatever. When my grandma died, I stopped caring about whatever. I hold these tears in, but they just falling like a river. Feel this weight on my shoulders, but I ain't ready to carry it. I'm walking with stacker, told my mama I'm a carrier. Taking drugs to ease the pain, but these drugs ain't carrying. I'm deep up in the hole, I lost my way in, but you ain't there when it light, so I'ma stay stuck in. And I ain't had no time. Why you had to leave me? I couldn't say goodbye. Why you had to leave me? God, take my life. Ain't you 949 in the sky? And I ain't had no time. Why you had to leave me? I couldn't say goodbye. Why you had to leave me? God, take my life. Ain't you 949 in the sky? Ain't you 949 in the sky? Ain't you 949? I couldn't even say goodbye. I laid on your chest and all I did was cry. Every day I'm thinking about committing homicide. Suicide on my fucking mind, take my life. June 25th, I got the news that you passed. I fell on my knees, my heart stabbed with a dagger. They took my baby away, now you up in them heavens. Everything gon' be okay, that's what they all keep telling me, but I ain't feeling it. How could you leave me in this world full of bullshit? How could you leave me, baby girl, that's some bullshit. I couldn't even say goodbye to the fullest. How could you leave me in this world full of bullshit? How could you leave me, baby girl, that's some bullshit. I couldn't even say goodbye to the fullest. I couldn't even say goodbye to the fullest.